Did Grover just get eaten? Did you call Poseidon? Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, episode 7. Now I think this episode's definitely going to be a big one. This is the semi-final. In the book, this almost feels like the final. You have, what have they done? It's the Krusty's sort of aquabed shop, the whole underworld stuff, and then Ares fight. Then it's the last two chapters where you're dealing with like the Bolt and Zeus, and then it's very calm. It feels very like casual, and I don't know. Yeah, basically I don't know how they're going to do a final for this show yet, because it feels almost like this should be the final. From the book, this is where the main sort of action takes place. This is the big stuff. So yeah, not quite sure how this is going to work. If they are keeping it strictly lining up with book titles and in the chapter titles, then that would mean this should be, we've got to sit in the last teaser thing, we've got the Krusty's Bed Emporium, we got the Underworld, and we also had Ares pop up at the end. So that makes me wonder if they're going to do all the big action things in here, which would line up with where we are in the book, and then what are they going to do for the final? Because it feels like they're going to have to change things. You have the Zeus, you have the whole Gabe and Medusa's head, and then of course you have the Luke stuff. That doesn't necessarily feel like a big show-stopping final to me, especially in the form of like a Disney Plus show. So I'm curious to see if they will change things here. I wonder maybe, it might be quite easy. They could just push back a few things. I imagine a few stuff will get cut because, again, runtime, I have seen this one's about 40 minutes, so it's about 10 minutes longer than 10, it's a good-ish time. But again, it feels like they need that 20 minutes. I imagine things will get cut. I'm just hoping that it doesn't feel rushed and they get all the important stuff done. Like a few things that could easily be cut, probably them seeing Elysium and like the Fields of Punishment. The main part of this was just going through, I'm going to forget the name. I call it Asphodus, but I don't think it's Asphodus. Asphodel, Fields of Asphodel. It's a weird name, but I'm guessing the majority of this will take place there. Easily things can get cut. I think the most important parts for this now are basically dealing with the fourth pearl that they got in the last one. So hopefully that gets taken care of, because the whole point of the only three is that Percy had to realize he had to choose, and he had to, because that lines up with the prophecy, not saving the thing you like. Yeah, not saving the thing that matters most, Sally. So not sure how that's going to be resolved yet. I'm worried because if they keep it, that kind of, it dilutes what the prophecy said. So assuming that's going to get destroyed or lost or something's going to happen to it. You have the whole Titan. There's so much to do in this one episode. The Titans, Krusty's. You have, I guess, Charon's scene with all the dead people, Cerberus. There's so much. I'm just worried about the runtime. I'm hoping it doesn't feel rushed and they can get everything done. Because now the deadline has passed. We're in a war. I'm almost expecting it should be elevated from what it was in the book. You had Hades, who had an army of the dead at the ready for the start of the war. If this is past it, he should have almost sent that out, and that should be fully in action now. So, worried about how this is going to go. But yeah, going to go head in with optimism. It's going to be a great episode. It's going to do the things I want it to do, and it's just going to be a good episode of the show. And of course, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon. Over there, I'll be uploading the full reaction to this episode, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in.
My grandpa Kronos ate my
this is perfect setup for a reveal. This is why Disney Plus does this a lot with their little recap thing. They give away sort of what's going to happen. Like just talking about Kronos, that means you're going to get the reveal of this episode. Of course, we know that because we've read the book. But anyone who hasn't read the book, it's kind of obvious that that's going to happen now.
Each will provide one of you safe passage back from the underworld.
I do like the intent there. So it shows that the sea, because in the book, you only got 3. And it's almost like the sea gods, and then the Nereids, where he's saying, you got to make a choice. Here, it's more kind. They're giving you 4, but hopefully one gets destroyed and he still has to make the choice. So it makes the gods look nicer, I guess, or Poseidon, or the Nereid. It makes them look nicer. Oh, we're going straight into the scene. Okay, no build-up to, like, the witch kids and the whole... Okay, this could be good pacing-wise. Like, what reason do you have coming in here?
These beds will change your life.
Oh. Oh, I love the flickering lights.
Seeing our mummy, are we?
I know who you are.
Oh.
You're Procrustes.
Ah!
Son of Poseidon and murderer of travelers.
Yeah. Okay, again, knowing everything, every trap you go into.
And you?
You look creepy.
Got Dad's eyes.
So you're brothers.
Take a load off, relax for a minute.
Don't sit down.
The beds are a trap.
Okay, so...
That's how you do it.
Okay, so you know everything.
You murder your guests.
I do.
I know there's a secret passage to the underworld here.
Oh, you changed it to here.
Left here to guard it.
Oh, he's got. Oh, this. Okay, this kind of lines up a bit. This makes him more important.
In addition to being incredibly comfortable,
Still talking about beds.
I'm really not interested.
they show you how to fit. Fitting's not easy for guys like us, am I right?
I mean, technically, getting in the bed would get you to the underworld.
Stretching us and twisting us and hacking off pieces to make us seem more like them.
Oh dear. Okay, you're very creepy.
With these beds, you just fit. Try it.
You know it's a trap. You can't.
You'll feel much better.
Okay, you're very good. You're very creepy. You feel great.
You first.
Oh! Okay, that's a cool way of doing that. Invisibility cap, awesome.
You okay?
That cap is gonna get way overpowered in this show.
You won't save her.
Oh, were those the blades?
Try bringing someone back from the underworld. You won't be the first to fail.
Your favourite, what matters most?
You're lucky we're letting you keep your head, dummy.
Oh no, cut it off. Are you actually gonna let him live?
Is it over?
You're just waiting outside. Oh, did they let him live? Oh. The book's like Percy chopped off his head. That was quite a good moment. And it built him up. It would have built him up here with Annabeth basically manipulating, no, Grover manipulating God, Annabeth reasoning with one, and Percy cutting off the head of a giant. That would have been quite good. What, you just do not enter, and what's through there? What, coughing? Smells like death?
The realm of the dead, where someone left a carton of milk in there in the 1990s.
Yep. Okay. I do like that they're actually... mixed feelings. I do like that they've changed Krusty's place to be more important. Because in the books, it was just a place to go and get away from rich kids that tried to mug them.
If we get into trouble, these are our tickets out.
Yeah, 4 of them.
Almost turning back till we all come back.
No one comes back.
Cut his head off.
I just think it's safer if I'm not holding them all.
Good idea. No, that could mean one of those loses one of them.
Let's go get your mom.
I think in the book, the main reason why it was in a different location was, I guess, it gave some stuff to cow on and showed the spirits and just them waiting around because they had no money. So it played into more of the myth. But I guess this show, it's assuming the audience is aware of the myths, like the characters are. I wonder how the underworld's going to look. I hope it looks really cool. I hope they have... Because there's so much, like, in there. It's not just one giant desert. There's so much there. It's all equally creepy.
Well, we're not in Kansas anymore. What?
Too young for that reference?
Did I show you that movie?
It's so peaceful.
I'm not going.
Oh. Is this a new school? Is this like getting kicked out everywhere?
Dr. Higgins says this is the best school, the best program.
It's, yeah, new school.
We were very lucky to get in.
I'm not going.
Oh.
Know that you do not want to do this, but sometimes I have to make choices that you may not understand.
Her entire life, she must have been paranoid about everything, trying to protect him.
I'm not going.
Like, she definitely isn't going to deal with Percy being a nuisance here. She already deals with enough trying to keep him safe. Locking the door. Ooh, she's going to be so mad.
Percy,
Yep.
now open the door.
Fine.
Oh, okay, nice transition.
Grover.
Where are you? Where are you? So the door led to that trap door. Okay, very rocky. I want to see the river Styx and all of that. Oh, whoa. Oh, the sky looks amazing. Looks like cavern walls, but also a bit mysterious as well. Can't really make out a lot. Is that a wall? Is that a castle wall?
Not in Kansas.
Oh, the line from his mouth.
Focus. We left Kansas 4 days ago.
Yeah, it's a... Okay, she hasn't seen the movie either. Movie night, do that.
Is that who I think it is?
Nice, good rubber ball. What, I can't... What can you see?
Charon.
Charon!
Boatman.
Okay, so we are going to go.
New arrivals across the river Styx.
Take the new house. Wait, so where did you... Oh, so did you enter before the river?
Why don't you let me hang on to that for now?
Is that stressful? Is it... Did you take the ball down expecting Cerberus? Because you would know that Cerberus guards the underworld, so you know you're going to run into him.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Cool little waiting line. Still feels dark because all these people are dead. But it still has that levity to it that season 1 needs.
Only suckers win.
It's elevating music.
I think you learn a lot.
Ooh. Oh, can you not see his eyes? That's cool.
You're not dead.
I love the voice. It's that, yeah, that's good.
We're all dying. To some extent.
And you didn't pay the cross.
Wait, we can pay. We can pay.
Ooh, oh. Yeah, give him money. He likes money.
Just, take them all.
That's a dog whistle. Love the staff. It looks like the people are in pain. That's a dog whistle. Dummies, it's a dog whistle. There we go. I love how they've done Caron here. Like in the books, his face melts into a skeleton. But of course, budgetary reasons. They've kept that's a cool way of just keeping it cheap. Using lighting there. Oh, he looks insane. He's huge. That's awesome. You're not going to be able to outrun that. Oh, whoa. Did Grover just get eaten? Good thing you took the stress ball off him. Oh, it tripped. I love how gloomy the atmosphere is. It feels like Lost and like, it feels just I don't know, it feels like how the underworld should feel. It's not the Fields of Punishment. It's not Elysium. This is just the in-between. What are you doing? Ah! Is Annabeth? It's gotta be Annabeth, right? Yeah. It is after all just a giant puppy. No. Did you put it to sleep? Yep, Grover's alive, good. You could get out, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Didn't wake up, excellent. Oh dear, you're covered in saliva.
I can't hold this forever.
Oh, is it only going to stay asleep as long as you, like, pet it?
Can you fly us up there with your shoes?
No. Bad idea.
You can do this. One at a time. Take Percy first.
Nope. Bad plan. Hey, don't stop. Get on top of the dog's back. Oh no, and it's turning around. Oh wait, the shoes worked. What's happening? Come on, throw the ball. Hey! No, it wants the ball. Wait, is it jumping up? Is it gonna bring Annabeth up? Why can't you see anything? Right, she good? Oh, she jumped. Okay, good. Throw him the ball. Give him like a toy. Come on.
Excuse me.
What's she doing? Yeah, come on, throw the ball. Yeah! Oh, that's the river. Can he go in the river? So we got to see the river Styx at least. Awesome. Can he touch the water? I don't think he can touch the water. That's a bit of a shame. At least he got rid of him. I love that, because Annabeth was the one that dealt with Cerberus in the books, and I like that they changed things here, but they still kept it focused on her dealing with it.
Oh, wow.
What? Oh, wow? Oh, wow, what? Oh, the desert.
Palace.
Yeah, the desert and the that looks amazing.
That's what will be keeping the master boat.
So please say that looks like Olympus in the final, because it's meant to be an upside down version of it, and that literally looks like an upside down version.
My pearl. I lost the pearl.
And we're down one.
I think it's
In Cerberus's mouth.
It's in the dog.
Yep. Okay, at least that takes care of that problem. It made this Nereid and like Poseidon seem nicer that they were giving them 4, but they still lost it. That works well. They're only giving them 3. It felt kind of mean in the book.
I have the email from your office right here saying that he's registered.
I'm very sorry. Some new information came to light that has forced us to reconsider.
What? It was meant to be his first day.
Our problem is that he was found walking across the roof of the gymnasium, after which he said he saw something out.
Wait, that horse with wings was Blackjack.
I have already withdrawn him from his former school. He has no place else to go.
You considered homeschool?
Homeschool.
She can't.
I'm sorry, but no, I cannot accept that.
She can't afford it.
So let's, you and I, figure out a way to make this work.
I don't know how hard she tries. I love that we're getting to see these scenes because it's only referenced in the book. Now that we're actually getting to see it, it adds so much to Sally. Like her whole life she was spent trying to like be a good mum and trying to protect him, trying to do everything she could for him.
The 3 of us plus your mom is 4 people, and only 3 pearls. Someone is staying behind.
Yep, you'll fail to say what matters most.
And even if it were, you're not getting left behind.
And there we go. Do not lose that one. I wouldn't have given it to him because he already lost one.
Stop this war. You guys are leaving
Yes.
with my mom.
And you're gonna stay behind. Of course, that's not gonna happen.
Wait, Percy. What about you?
Yeah, I like this because the book did address it, didn't it? It basically, he actually, what? No! Creepy? Is that the spirit? What? Motionless? Oh, you're in a field of spirits. Okay, yeah, this fields of Asphodel.
This must be Asphodel.
Asphodel, that's what it's called.
I read a book about this place.
Yeah. It's the great nothing. No joy, no sadness, just nothing. Why would you look under the thing? Why? Is that roots?
Roots?
They're planted like trees? Does that mean all the rest? Wait, does that mean the trees are like people as well?
Souls here are bound by regret, haunted by choices they made in life.
Okay, so yeah, okay, not great middle. It's still kind of sad, but not exactly punishment. Oh, great. Is it over the wall? Yep, it is. You better leg it. Where'd Annabeth go? Where'd she go? It's so weird to think that one of these spirits is kind of Hazel. Like, where is she?
Annabeth!
Oh? Follow the voice. What?
We've got a problem here.
What problem? Oh, okay, so they don't go into trees. The trees go around them.
How did this happen?
Is she regretting something?
It's some kind of regret, right?
Is it the regret for the parent situation?
But what would you have to regret?
Parent thing?
It's okay. Go.
It's the parent thing.
I'll distract the dog and buy you.
At the end of the summer, you're going to go and try again with your parents.
This will work.
Yes!
I'll be okay.
Okay, come on. That tree grew fast. Use it soon.
You can do this.
Okay, so...
I know you can.
Okay. Losing Annabeth, that means you could fall into more traps now. You're losing your smart one.
Now!
Come on, use the pearl. The thing's growing fast. She used it! Oh, you're out of the forest. Rocks. Oh, she disappeared. Okay, she's good. So it did work.
Let's go!
Yes, keep going. Yeah, do you like how they're like referencing the whole him sacrificing thing? Because in the book, basically, he didn't really question it. It was almost like he knew his mum would never let him, so he took it himself. Because he knew his mum would never let him sacrifice himself for her. So now he's already doing that, so I'm guessing he's going to have to realise it at some point, which would be cool. That is such a cool scene. So now you're in the desert. What part of the underworld is this? So you've left the fields of Asphodus. So not the fields of punishment. No one's here.
All that way and then just sucked.
That must be good. There's something even worse down here. Probably Tartarus.
It's weird.
No one questions why something big and scary would turn away.
Grover? Grover, where are you going?
Yep, Tartarus. Take the shoes off.
Hands up!
Grab him quickly.
It's the shoes!
Come on, run. Grab him. He's too far. Grab him. Oh, that is an awesome looking pit. Grab. There's almost like teeth on that. Well, like around the outside, the way they've done the rock. Okay, you got him. You did. Ah, sword. You're in sand. It might. Come on, you have hooves. You don't actually have feet. Come on. Being lifted up. Do not let go. And come on. How tight did you tie those laces? Oh, good. And they've gone in. We're gonna hear something angry. I want to hear something angry, or more like magic words being spoken. What? Opening the bag? Opening the bag? You're gonna find it now? Not at Hades' palace? You're gonna find it now. It's got heavy. Is that... Oh... That's it. That fit in your... Okay, yeah, cool. Magic bag. Yeah. Okay, you have the Master Bolt. I love how they've designed it, like looking more intricately. It looks like it's fashioned for gods.
Is this?
No,
I mean, it looks like...
it absolutely is not.
What is it? Why is it not?
Yeah, that's the master
right?
Okay, it is a Master Bolt. I think who gave you the bag?
This isn't my bag.
Come on.
This is the bag Ares gave.
There we go. Okay, yes, thank you. You're being set up.
Ares had the Master Bolt this entire time and tricked us.
Mm-hmm.
He was working with Hades?
No, someone else deeper in the pit.
That was it, right? That's the quest.
You're going to try and go back. Sally. You've got to go to the castle. You've come this way. And you know something doesn't feel right. Hades isn't the one behind it.
Zeus is just gonna have to wait.
Yeah, okay, going for Sally.
But this school's gonna be really good for you. I know that too.
So many schools.
I want you to give this place a chance.
She just never stops trying.
I gotta take you back to school soon to drop you off. So let's not.
Okay, so got a new school. Good.
Let's not
yes.
spend the last few minutes
So
we
that's
have to
like-
like this.
No.
Why are you doing this? Why are you trying so hard to get rid of me?
No, it's just... No. Schools
I
probably...
would never do this to you.
No, schools are full of people and smell of people. It's all protection trying to get... Oh, she looks so hurt. She's just trying to give you a good life. Oh, she's crying. I love these scenes. They're giving so much more to Sally. Because I think in the book, she basically is only at the start. We're getting to see more and more of her. Oh, back here. Wait, is that a palace or is it just a giant, like, rock thing? Stalactite. Is it stalactite or whatever the word is. Oh, cool, it is the palace. I love the sky. Oh, guards. Cool. Again, cool use of creative budget. They didn't show the faces, so you can't tell if they're skeleton or not. But we can assume that they are skeleton underneath the armor. Dark and gloomy, excellent. Oh, elevator. Oh, nice. See, I like this. We're getting to see more of the magical side of godly power, because the only godly power we've seen was from Hermes looking into Percy's mind. Now we're getting to see more of it in Hades' domain, so it should be a whole lot more here. I love this palace. This looks amazing. It feels godly.
Is this our stop? Or?
It's the only stop. Throne. First steps. Okay, you're human size, not giant size. Bit of a shame, but your gods, you can do anything. They might make you giant in the future.
I know who you are, and you know who I am, so we can just skip right past that part.
Okay, Hades, so you seem kind of nice.
Fresh pomegranate juice, a snack?
Don't drink.
Actually, my mother.
No, don't drink or eat anything here.
Boom. Straight to business.
Yeah. Okay, you seem nicer
Fire
here.
the cut of your jib.
You're not angry. The whole war starting and that you can be flushed with more souls.
Get to it. Your mom's just over here.
Okay, they're definitely leaning into like the softer side of Hades and like presenting him as not that bad. I like what they do with this series. They make Hades always seen as like the evil god of death, but here they show that he's almost the person who's blamed for everything bad. Yet he himself isn't that bad. Right? That they're going into that a whole lot more. Book-wise, he's very angry. He comes off as sort of stressed a lot. It's not until he starts rambling about how dare you try and blame me for all this. That's what. Just statue. Okay. It's not until he starts rambling about everything that you start realizing he's sort of stressed and everyone's just blaming him for everything. Definitely gone more into that here, where they're just fully presenting him as a nice person-ish.
You know, typically getting crushed by a minotaur is a terminal diagnosis.
Yep, trapped in the moment.
Just in the ta-da nick of time.
Not a bargaining thing.
That you would come see me. Here we are.
And?
You give me what you got, I give me you what I got.
There we go. So do you want... Oh, no, you don't want the bolt. You want the other thing.
I can't give it to you.
There we go.
I see there's a quid and a quo here.
The bolt doesn't belong to you.
Oh, that little glance in his eyes. He knows he doesn't want the bolt.
Trick me into bringing it right down and giving it to you. But it's wrong.
Is this the rant?
And I won't do it.
Is this the rant? Is it coming?
So all I can do is ask you to do the right thing too.
It feels like it's building up to like a big thing, or like a twist.
Huh?
There we go. He's just confused.
What?
Who tricked Ares into doing what?
There we go.
To secure the bolt.
I'm not in cahoots with Ares. I seldom cahoot. The bolt is my brother's drama. I don't want any part.
Then what do you want?
My helm.
There we go. And the other missing thing.
I'd like it back now, please, and then you get your mom back.
You don't have that.
Why would I want that?
Start a war between your...
Why would he want that?
Why would I want that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's all candy canes and rainbows down here. I'm managing just fine. Brothers, on the other hand, have the market cornered on jealous.
Yep.
Family drama is why I don't go...
You're realizing the voice isn't Hades. You're realizing it's something else.
Someone stole Zeus's bolt. It wasn't me. It must have
Kronos?
been somebody who was...
Kronos.
There we go. That shut him up.
Excuse me?
There we go.
Kronos is in a million pieces at the bottom of the
Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Where something just tried to pull us into it the moment the bolt appeared in our bag.
Yep.
I assumed that was you, but that voice I heard, that definitely did not sound like you.
Yep. I know Zeus is the one that sort of didn't want to talk about Kronos, but Poseidon did. What about you?
Ask me for sanctuary.
Huh?
Kronos is somehow planning to emerge from his exile, and you were his first call.
No, not first call.
Ask me and I'll protect you. You and your mother.
See, he just comes off as a nice guy. I love this.
Now I need the bolt. If war with Kronos is coming, I'd like to be prepared.
Yeah.
Not messing around.
I like this. They give him more reasoning to him. He's still coming off as good.
The only question is how difficult you make it.
You still have the pearls. You have your escape.
Give me the bag.
Aha!
We're gonna go get your helm. And when I get back, you're gonna let my mom go.
Okay, hang on.
Throw her now.
Yep, do it! Nice. Do it now before you can do something. And go. Okay, good. That was great. I love what they've done with like Hades and all that. They still keep him nice, but he could have come off as a bit more threatening. But yeah, we all see him again. But he still came off as that like nice sort of god that he kind of is. What's happening? Match? What the? Just what? What is this? What'd you do? What did you do? What's happening? You stuck a match in like melted ice cream? Raining? Did you call Poseidon? Did you call him? And he came! You're not ignored! Can we see him? Come on. Camera, please, pan!
This isn't fair.
Oh.
No.
Tears. Come on, pan!
And I am failing.
No, you're not failing! And there's Poseidon. I don't think you actually came for her.
I'm going to take him to camp.
Oh.
Are you sure?
You still wouldn't claim him.
He and I living together in the city.
You don't want to separate.
A winged horse followed him to school.
Yeah. Who was
It saw him. He saw it.
Did Poseidon send Blackjack? I can't remember why Blackjack was like showed up.
Sooner or later, it's not just going to be pretty things that are following him.
Oh.
At camp, he will be safe.
Nope. He's learned to protect himself, but still, nope, not safe.
You don't want him again.
No.
She still wants her son.
You don't want to hear why.
Doesn't want to lose him to that world.
Probably not. You have no one to say it to.
Talk to him.
You say it, and I will listen.
I love Poseidon. He's amazing. Yes, he's kind of, he's a good father. But, like, the line I got to in the book, it was basically like, he called Sally a queen amongst women. He truly does care for her. She's not just some random mortal. And I love that they're actually showing that he does care.
He has better things in him than that.
And I think you have your answer. He's going to go to school.
There we go.
He's going to learn things that you can't teach him. It's going to be torture for the both of you.
Yeah.
But he will be stronger for it on the other side.
Yes, he will. Sally is why he's he's the way he is.
His mother raised him well.
Oh.
Do you want to talk to him?
Oh, he's not going.
I know you shouldn't, but maybe just to hear his voice.
Oh. It's not going to happen, is it? Why are you teasing me like this? You can't. Maybe do it and then wipe his memory.
One day.
Oh. Do you remember what you...
One day when he's ready.
You're talking... Wait, is the scene carrying on? Are you talking to him? Is he remembering the thing that he didn't know?
He knows who he is.
Is he talking? Is he talking? Are you...
He belongs.
What? What? Who is that? Is that... Annabeth. Okay. Why? I thought it was... Okay. End. Don't go into this yet. We'll save this for the final. End.
On that day.
Yeah, he's here. It's time to fight.
I'll be right by his side.
No. End. Yes, save that for the final. Give like the final like a good fight scene. Okay, amazing episode. I loved what they did with Hades. The underworld, that was a brilliant introduction to it. We're going to get a whole lot more of it. We got like a character stuck down there for Heroes of Olympus. And of course, Nico's whole thing is getting that whole place. So that was a great introduction to it. Very gloomy, very dark. And of course, they can save some of the shots when they have a bigger budget. I imagine you'd want to save the Fields of Punishment and Elysium when you can actually do them justice. You don't want to like sort of have to work around them. Like Charon, that was really good and creative, showing that he is sort of not all like human. You couldn't see his eyes. That was like the eyes disappeared under the hood. I think that was a big part when he showed up in the book. Again, that was a really creative way of showing it without just using lighting. So yeah, save all the other things when you get a bigger budget and you can actually do those things justice. Oh, what? Back at camp?
You're more than a hero now.
More than what?
You are a leader in the eyes of your fellow half-bloods.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you've won. And there was a shot with Luke.
That'll have an appointment.
Okay, human size still. That looks amazing though. And that fight scene, yeah. Okay, final looks good. Final looks good, excellent. Okay, that was a great second to last episode. It took care of a lot of things. You got a lot of development done just with Percy learning to, like, I guess, not sacrifice himself in a way and just instead come, like, he lined up with the prophecy. Luke, you won't be able to save what matters most to you, Sally. And he still learned all the things. We've got the whole Cronus thing when they realized that that is the person behind everything. You got the Master Bolt, you did the Underworld, very good. I think the things I really enjoyed about this episode was just that we got so much more with Sally. Because in the book, she's basically just at the start and at the end. And I'm loving that we're getting to see scenes like during her life. We had the thing with the swimming pool, then we had this scene where I got to see like a few scenes of what's been happening with them, and we got an interaction with Poseidon. I love that so much. Of course, we didn't get to see them meet, but it almost works better. It's more painful because they know about Percy in this way. Because Poseidon and Sally's relationship has always been so beautiful in the books. He's called her a queen amongst women, and he basically offered to build her a palace under the sea, and she refused because she knows that like that life isn't for her. I can't remember the exact reason why she refused, but it's clear that Poseidon does truly love her, and it adds to the pain that I guess both of them are going through. Now, just seeing their little relationship, that Sally actually can call Poseidon when... So, does that mean Sally could just call Poseidon whenever she wants to? Like, I mean, how many times can she do that? She needs a match and, I guess, water to summon him, and he'll come. But does that mean he'll protect her when, like, they're in danger? Like, why couldn't she do that when the Minotaur attacked? Did she just not have any matches available? I mean, of course, Poseidon couldn't really interfere at that point because he's preparing for a war. So that kind of makes sense. But it just seems, it's like a sweet thing that Sally can actually call Poseidon and just talk. And it's just nice. It almost makes you think, because there was that, when we first saw Sally in episode 1, it was raining and she was sitting outside in the rain. So maybe that's her way of talking to Poseidon, if anything. Because it was raining when he showed up. I'm just gonna be happy with that connection. Yeah, of course, a big part of this was the whole underworld and Hades. I think they did a great job with the underworld. Very gloomy and dark. I think lighting-wise, I think they could be a bit more creative in showing off this place, because it's pretty hard to see. It's very gloomy, but I think there's still ways of making this place feel dark and terrifying with still being able to see it clearly. Because like the river, I found very hard to see. Kind of wish we got like a bit more like on that. But like there's plenty of opportunity to do that, because again, this location is such an important thing that gets revisited so many times. So there's so much opportunity to improve, to change things, and to just explore it more. And of course, Hades. Now, I quite like what they did there, because Hades has always been a fascinating character for me, god of death, and he's always portrayed as the villain, the evil guy behind everything. That's what, I guess, normal stories about this do, because the easiest connection, death, is the ending, it's that sort of thing. It's the thing that takes away people you love. So it's easy to villainize Hades, even though he isn't actually the god of death, that's Thanatos. And he's just the ruler of the underworld. And the way he is presented in the books, he comes off as cold and like harsh and I guess aggressive when they first meet, because he is preparing for war. He has everything at the ready and he wants his helm back. He's angry at that. So here they've swapped the anger out to try and, I guess, they're trying to present him more as like the nice guy that he actually is, that he isn't the villain. Because I guess in the book it's pretty easy to assume he is the villain. But by now you realise, I guess, it just isn't him. It's Kronos that's been behind everything. So I kind of like they have that change, because the reveal was coming anyway. So I think one of my favourite moments from Hades was like the whole thing that happens with Nico and Bianca's mum. That, I think, it screams of what like kind of a nice person Hades is and what kind of god he is. Because he tried to save his children and it actually, yeah, I'm not going to remember everything and I'm going to sound like I don't know things, but I do, I promise you. But like, yeah, what happened? I'm sure he shielded them from a lightning bolt and he managed to save Bianca and Nico, but he couldn't save, I'm going to forget her name, I think it might have been Maria. But he failed to save her and she died, and he was very sad about it, obviously. And because it shows that Hades and Poseidon are very similar in the way that they treat the women that they love, or just the people that they love. So I do like that they've kept Hades as a nice cat again, because it's different than what the movie did. The movie just immediately villainized Hades by just having him appear as some giant winged demon thing. Here, they've just gone the complete opposite direction, which I just find great. Now, of course, you have the whole spirits thing. That's the thing that I'm quite curious about, the way they've done the spirits in the fields of Asphodel. So you have the spirits, you can see them clearly, but they look like they're rooted in the ground. But I thought that was like them actually becoming roots, but they're not. They're not trees, because Annabeth had the root like wrap around her leg. So it's clear that those things, so the spirits there get trapped by the vines from their regret. Completely lines up with Hazel and everything she goes through. So she's probably currently trapped down there with the whole tree roots wrapped around her legs or wrapped around her body. Yeah, because she's been down there for a while. She might have started becoming a tree. Who knows? But I think that's quite... I'm already thinking about Heroes of Olympus, because that seems like a very cool scene to show Nico freeing her from that and just bringing her back to the realm of the living. But yeah, that's very, very far away. But I just like they're already planting the seeds for me to think about things are going to happen for years. Yeah, I think they did a great job with Cerberus. They showed, that's the thing, the scale of everything. Cerberus, they got scale-wise, great. He's a giant monster. And then you have the gods, who I'm a little disappointed that they aren't giant size. I think that's a good thing that separates them from humans. It shows that they aren't human, they're bigger, and that it forces mortals to look up at them and like to almost feel lesser. It's almost intimidation. With Hades, I was kind of hoping he would be bigger because like you had the throne, but then the throne's human size as well. It feels, it might be, I'm hoping it's different. They almost seems like they've planted seeds there. The whole throne room is completely massive. And the way that they furnished it almost looked like it was too small. You had how he furnished his little coffee table and sofas and couches. That almost seems like it was shrunk down compared to what the room is. So maybe he shrunk everything to appear nicer for Percy and Grover, and in reality they're actually enormous to fill out the room. That I think could be something. And maybe they're just waiting for, I guess, getting a bigger budget to do all this stuff. But we also saw with Olympus that we got that tease. We've seen Zeus in the throne room and it's human size. Again, maybe that's done for like to make Percy feel more comfortable. But again, why would Zeus want that? He wants him to feel uncomfortable. So I'm hoping that does change in the future. Maybe we will eventually see giant gods, because that is one thing the movie did right, that they were giant. Yeah, okay, just making them human size makes them feel more human when they should feel completely different than that. But overall, episode very good. Okay, so let's go into this more in depth. Now, starting in the beginning, we had the Krusty scene. So a few things have changed there, and I wouldn't say all of it was for the better. So I think getting rid of the rich kids trying to mug Percy, Annabeth and Grover, and them having to run into Krusty's, and then basically find the monster, leaving, then find the underworld, that wastes a bit of time. So I like that they did like fully connect it to the underworld. Of course, that meant you didn't have the whole Charon waiting room scene where you see his like human form. So that's a bit of a shame, but honestly it's not the biggest loss. I think the biggest thing about that is that they keep knowing the traps. I mean, it works in some instances because it makes perfect sense that Annabeth, of course, would know who Medusa is. Very popular monster. Everyone knows who Medusa is and it's got a huge personal connection to Athena. Then you have the Lotus Hotel. Again, it's one of those things that Annabeth probably would have looked into. What was it? I've forgotten. Odyssey, I don't know. Whatever the guy's name is, he's meant to be very smart. And the challenge was, how does someone so smart figure out this thing? And that's where Annabeth fits in again. It works in her favour. Here, you have the connection that Procrusteus, or whatever, Krusty, he's Percy's brother, so you have that connection. But again, he's not a very well-known monster. He's like a giant. I can't remember how tall he was, but he wasn't that giant. Like, so you have a very slight connection with Percy, but again, not a popular monster, so it's not something you would expect to see. And it's almost like they knew. When did they find out who was guarding the underworld? Because in mythology, it's mainly just you have to cross the river with Charon and get past Cerberus. That's the thing. Charon isn't really Krusty isn't really a part of that. So to connect them, it kind of works to add a guard in the mortal world and then have Charon in the underworld. But again, having them know about it feels odd in that way because it's not obvious information that any demigod would know. It's just a bit odd. Yeah, it's just a bit weird that they would know that. And I think it did dull the scene down a bit. That scene especially could have been very dark. Having, like, I guess Grover and Annabeth being just pulled apart on beds, that would have been very dark. But again, that doesn't fit in the lighter tone they're trying to go for season 1. So yeah, so having that scene excluded, that makes sense. But again, not having Krusty's head get cut off by Percy, that again is a bit disappointing. Because that was meant to put him on par with what Annabeth and Grover done, especially now with them dealing with gods. It would have helped Percy have that under his belt that he's been able to kill Krusty. Now I'm trying to think what Percy's combat accomplishments have been right now. Then first monster was Medusa. He cut off her head, but it was Annabeth that put the cap on her. Without that, Percy would have been dead. So and Grover's distraction. That was a team-up thing. That wasn't anyone individually. Then you had Echidna, which, let's be honest, Percy lost that fight, and it was his first loss, which was a good thing, but it's not something he can claim he did. Then you had Hephaestus and Ares adding something to Grover and Annabeth, where Annabeth reasoned with a god while Grover manipulated one. And now we're here, where Annabeth is the one that pushed Krusty onto the bed. So that comes under her now. And then Annabeth dealt with Cerberus. So again, it's waiting for Percy to have these accomplishments. Because again, it's only season 1 though, because he is the one that goes against the Titans. So he's going to have all that. So it's kind of nice that they're giving Annabeth and Grover these sort of things. It's clear they're planning for 5 seasons. They're setting that up, letting Grover and Annabeth do more when it's going to become very Percy focused later on. It's just Krusty is a very small thing that would have been easy to add to Percy. Yeah, and then just in a more fun sense, I'm kind of disappointed they didn't cut off his head, because that would have just been a fun thing to do, because he's a nasty, evil monster. Keeping him alive just means the more mortals that walk into his shop are going to get killed. Then going into the underworld, so they arrived before the river Styx, so they arrived on the right side, next to the wall going into the fields of Asphodel. So that is another change. So instead of having to cross it with Charon and having to bargain and offer that, they sort of skip that step, which again is pacing. They're trying to save time, speed things up and get things moving faster. Because again, you're getting to the end and it works in the term of like having a show, not a book. You can stretch things out. Here, you have to sort of speed things up and get sort of amped up for the final. So having like a long scene where they're just sitting on a boat, just walking into the underworld, doesn't fit in the sense that you're leading up to a season final, but it would have added sort of the eeriness to the underworld, which I think was kind of needed. We had a desert, we had the forest. The lighting wise, it felt dark and gloomy, but you didn't have, I think music is another thing that's missing from this. The themes aren't like, I'm not hearing a score that much. I think that would have gone a long way of making the underworld feel much more like creepy and dark and deathy. Yeah, so I think Charon had a great design. Love that I think a lot of the budget, and I'm happy with this, has been spent in props. Seeing like the chairs and the thrones, and like we've got that one tiny shot of the throne of Olympus, looked great. And that looked practical. From the one thing we got, it looked like the chairs are practical and the sky was CGI. So it looks like they spent a lot of money in props. You also had Charon's spear, or not spear, staff, with the 2 heads. That looks good as well. So I'm loving, and the Master Bot, of course, loving how intricately designed all of these artifacts and like weapons and stuff are, because they're weapons for gods. They're going to have loads of detail on them. They're not going to be minimalistic or simple. They're going to be extravagant. That's like it's what cathedrals are like. They're made for lots of details to show, I guess, how much work is put into heavenly figures. And I love that that's being kept for the things associated with the gods in here. And of course, Charon's design, I just love how they kept it simple and just budget saving, because it's the lighting. He kept the hood up so you can't see his eyes, and it just kept dark and you can only see his mouth. That's great. It makes him feel ghostly and ghouly because you can't see the eyes are, because that's the window of the soul. You can't see that. So instead of his face melting into a skeleton, it's just this, and it still comes off as very eerie. Now going from there, you had Cerberus. I think he was done very well. He's like a giant puppy, and he's still the right dog breed. He still has the whole thing where Annabeth is the one that actually deals with him, which was correct to the book. And because what did they? Percy first threw like a plank of wood, and he didn't play fetch. That didn't work. Then they threw the red ball, and that he had like one that worked, but it was basically nearly destroyed, and they had one more throw out of it because the dog was just physically massive. So I think having Annabeth actually try and sort of ride the dog and pet him works well with this new idea that the underworld has that giant wall there that they need to figure out a way across. So I like that it tied into that and helped that work. I also like how the growls are a big thing in the book, and I like how that they kept that going. You heard the growls going through the forest, and then it eased off during the desert. And they only mentioned that it eased off in the desert. So I feel like that could have been done a bit more, and they could have had a few growls, and we could have heard the growl like maybe turn into a whimper as they got to the desert. But again, it's just good that they like referenced it at least, and just you at least got it spoken that Cerberus has disappeared, because something even worse is down here. Of course, a lot of the tinier details have been missed out. But I feel like those are things that can still be considered canon to the show. We just didn't get to see them, like Charon wanting money and wanting a raise, or Cerberus feeling lonely and wanting more pets. That again is not huge points. They just would have added a little bit more levity to it, which again, not quite what they're going for here. They're trying to keep it light, but still trying to balance out that dark tone, because again, you're in the underworld. So I think cutting those small things worked quite well, and that is what allowed them to cut Charon's sort of scene in the original location of the entrance to the underworld. And then you have the fields of Asphodel, which look great. They look eerie, and I like how they've done it. In the book, it's described as, when I read it, I pictured like you zoom out and you see like just an infinite amount of people all close together, and it's just a giant crowd of people who are now cloaked and ghouls, and they're almost lost in just, it's not the fields of punishment, but it's not Elysium. You're not going to feel good there, you're just going to feel there. But I like how they did it here. It still felt infinite, it still felt large, but it felt enclosed. You had the trees there, and it felt like an actual environment rather than just a just a nothingness void, just full of dead people. It felt like something was actually going on there. The detail with the roots, I think, is like a nice touch. It's a little odd, but it's still nice that it's the regret that's holding them there. So that almost adds to the idea that it is possible to save people from the fields of Asphodel, if you can figure out what they regret and try and fix it, which could add into the whole Hazel thing. And again, I'm almost happy that they cut the fields of the fields of punishment and Elysium, since they've given such like a good representation of the fields of Asphodel here. And because that means when this show does get a good amount of budget and it has more money, they can give those places as much attention as they did here, and they can make those places look as good as this place. Because like Elysium's gonna have to look amazing. You have like a whole, it was described as having a giant, how did Percy describe it? Like a gated community of giant mansions from different eras, so Roman villas, Greek temples, all this stuff from different ages, and of course then you had the middle islands where you go if you've like rebirthed like 3 times and died a hero's death 3 times. So again, I want that to have a good budget and have a good spotlight, and then of course Fields of Punishment, that can tie in with the Furies if they ever want to bring them back again. I think we might end up seeing the Furies again when they get the helm back, because they are the ones that take the helm back to Hades. I'm kind of hopeful for that. In the book, that's when Alecto basically tells Percy to live well, and it gives a lot more to her. She's not just some evil villain. She's just doing a job. Her whole role is to basically find punishments, to take revenge and punish wicked people and stuff like that. And she's basically giving Percy advice on how to avoid her and that fate. So it makes sense that he doesn't run into her again, because there's not really any need. He lives a hero's life. He doesn't do anything that would require her presence. By having the Fields of Punishment, that is where she sort of lives. She deals those punishments out. I think one thing this one missed was having the judges and the 3 ghosts there, because I think in the book it was like Shakespeare, first American president, and someone else who were the judges at the time, because it changed weekly, and they are the ghosts that judged the immortal people. And you could either choose. There were 2 lines. You could choose between just going straight to the Fields of Asphodel, or you could choose to go to the judges and either go to the Fields of Punishment or to the Fields of, or to Elysium, and it was running the risk. Do you want to do that, or do you just want to go to do nothing for eternity? But again, I think that's something they can bring back when they get to Nico and do all of that around him, because it probably the setup here doesn't fit well, because they're just going to they don't even meet the judges. They're just a reference. Nico is much more, I guess, involved with that sort of stuff. So saving it for him is going to make that stuff feel a whole lot better. Now we get to the desert. Now, I think what the desert, I felt too light for me. I would have liked it if they kept the dark grey tone of the Fields of Asphodel over the desert. It felt bright and light. I kind of wish it was at night time maybe, and kept the same lighting effect it did during the dreams. It almost made the sand look purple. It was dark. Here it just felt too light. I think the pit looked amazing. Tartarus, it looked like a giant hole in the ground leading to nothing but evil. That was perfect. Cannot wait to see what happens when someone falls down it. And I can't wait to see what actual Tartarus looks like. It's given a good tease other there's a whole nother realm of existence below this incredible place that we're in now. Because where do they go to the Tartarus? I think Tartarus you go to in Heroes of Olympus. So it's nice that we got to actually see this place and see what it looks like. And Heroes of Olympus, you actually go down there and deal with all of that. Then in Trials of Apollo, he ends up falling into if anyone hasn't read the last book, skip past this bit, but he falls past the deepest part and actually gets to the pit of chaos and sees all of that, where he starts to dissolve, and it just gets to a whole different level of stuff. So I love the kind of levels that they are presenting here. And Hades, as its own thing, looks incredible just on its own. To know that there's more layers to this is awesome. So I think just having the pit and seeing that and having that be our only reference to what Tartarus is going to look like it was very well done. And I think the whole confrontation with Hades was also done rather well. You had Percy found the bolt before he got to the palace. That's a change. In the book, he got to the palace, then he felt his bag get heavier throughout the journey, then he decided to open the bag and realize it was there, which made Hades angrier. So the fact that he found it before kind of makes Hades calmer, so that works. Then I do like how they presented Hades here. He comes off as the nice god, which he is. He's one of the best father figures in among the Greek gods. The way he fathered Nico, the way he cares for Nico and Bianca, it's so much different than Zeus. Zeus is like the worst one. He turned Thalia into a tree just so she wouldn't be part of the prophecy. It's not a nice fate. But Hades is just nice. So having him, the book served as a twist. He comes off as angry and like the typical evil guy, and yet it turns into a twist when he says, oh, he's not that bad, and he's stressed after all the stuff that's going on. Here, they keep it nice and happy throughout the entire thing. The twist is when the sound is drowning out and Percy realizes it's Kronos. That's the twist. So I like that they still kept the twist, but they changed Hades to stay as the nice person. Yeah, only wish they were giant size and on a throne and in like a godly attire. Because I think we see it in the credits where he looks like his god self would with the robes and the crown. And I kind of wish he'd look like that. But maybe, again, he might get that costume at some point. We don't know. We just need the show to get a bigger budget. And then, of course, the ending to this episode was done very well. You have Percy realizing that he needs to use the last pearl to get the helm because there's a whole lot more going on. And it almost puts the stakes outside of his mum. He makes him realize that things are bigger than just trying to save his mum. The whole world is at stake. Kronos is trying to rise, and he can't let that happen. And that in itself demonstrates that Percy has become a hero. He has put aside his own wants to save the world. And that's like the hero. I see a meme constantly. A hero will sacrifice you to save the world, and a villain will sacrifice the world to save you. Percy has just basically stepped into the hero category there. This was his hero moment. And I think subtly you can, as a viewer who hasn't read the books, you can sort of realise that Percy's realising himself that his mum would not let him sacrifice himself to save her. You know that wouldn't happen. Yeah, he knows that wouldn't happen, and the viewer can understand that, especially with seeing all the little scenes spaced throughout that she's basically giving up her life to protect and raise Percy. She's putting her own life on hold, and her life is unbelievably difficult. And the fact that I think the big seller point for that is that she considered sending him to camp early, but chose not to. She chose the harder life. She chose, but it was like, yeah, if she sent him to camp, she would have gotten her life back. She wouldn't have the monsters coming after her. She would have lived normally. But the fact that she chose to keep Percy is sacrificing her life to protect him. That lets the viewer know that Percy is almost realising that as well. Because they sort of done the thing with the echoing voices at the end when he wakes up. So I think it's very clear that Percy is realising the bit that he does in the book, but they almost kept it in a more dramatic way. Then, of course, the last part of the episode I'm so happy about. They cut it before the final fight with Ares. I am so happy that they cut that, because if they tried to cram it all in this one episode, it would not have worked. And I like that they're keeping that for the final episode, because that's like, it's the big fight scene. That's what you're waiting for. Then it goes into the sort of dealing with everything, and then you have the backstabbing part at the end, which that is the seller point for the final. So I think from just this, final is going to be very good. And I love that you just have Ares walking up, acting all smug with his sword. So I can't wait to see how that fight scene is going to go. I think for me, there's few things I want from that fight scene, but I'm a little worried now because the scenery looks kind of peaceful. It looks like there's not a lot of people around. You had like a lighthouse in the background. It looked kind of deserted. I'm almost hoping that police show up and like random people will start recording on their phone, and you just have Ares point like his sword at them and have all the police cars explode and tell the mortals to back away or something like that. So I kind of hope that they turn the fight into a spectacle. You have Percy using the waves. I'm hoping it isn't just a sword fight, because it's the culmination of Percy learning his powers. It sorts out the whole criminal stuff going on with Percy, that he was actually, the mortals think he was kidnapped by Ares, and it also just shows off Percy's general skill, because the last thing that I want from that fight is for Percy to stab Ares in the foot with Riptide and have gold blood pour out. That's what I want to see. Yeah, it's clear this show's been very respectful and very close to what the book has done, and it's kept the important parts. So I'm assuming that fight, no matter what, is going to be amazing. It's going to be the culmination of everything Percy has gone through. And I'm just hoping that choreography-wise, it's great. I'm hoping technically it's proficient, and I'm sure that it'll be a very meaningful fight. Overall, I think this episode was definitely very good. It was much better than the last one. Pacing-wise, I think it did very well you got the whole stuff. It got all the important stuff, all the attention it needed. Of course, if things were longer, that would be even better, because then you could fit in more stuff. But everything they included had enough breathing room just fine. Yeah, I think just as a pre-season final episode, it did very well. It tied up loose ends, it got development done, it got Percy to realise that he needs to go on and he can't just sacrifice himself constantly, even though he will still do it. But it still has that sort of tone and it keeps things going and it lines things up. You have the reveal and now you have the culmination of everything in the final. It set up the final perfectly. Speaking of which, I'm already sad that we only have 1 week left of this show and then we're going to have to wait so long for like season 2 to come out. I don't think even season 2's been greenlit yet, which is just annoying in itself. I think Rick Riordan might have been starting to write season 2 or they've done something, but like nothing's been official because Disney just haven't greenlit it. That's just so annoying because it's going to take forever to get this whole show done. The actors are going to age up, which is fine as long as you have, because they're the face of it now. You have their face and you connect Percy with that. So if they age up, it's fine. But like, I want this show to come out faster because I think, of course, it needs enough time to do all the post-production. But ideally, I kind of would have wanted them to start filming season 2 either during the release of the show or immediately after the release. So hopefully Disney will see how well season 1 is doing, that seeing the fans are enjoying it. Hopefully they'll speed up the production of the rest of the seasons. What they need to do is greenlit the rest of the 5 seasons and then start speeding up production, but still give all the post-production enough time to make things look as good as they do here. But yeah, with that said, that does bring us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week for the final episode. See ya!